Happy 420. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Tennessee men's basketball gets their first commitment for the 2025 year. Dewayne Brown, four-star center, Hoover, Alabama, 6'9". Depending on the site you look at, anywhere from 235 to 250, has committed to Tennessee. Again, he gives them their first commitment for 2025. What is Tennessee getting in Dewayne Brown? I've not been able to find any actual highlights of him, but on 24/7 they had an interview with his high school coach, talked about him, said and I quote from the article, his coach is Scott Ware at Hoover High School. Of course, he took visits, I think it was Mississippi State, Alabama, Auburn, and there was one more as well. But Brown's coach talked about him, said he's the hard worker. He's first one to the gym an hour early. He's the last one to leave. Says he's a great kid. He wants to satisfy. Says his work ethic will fit in with the culture that Rick Barnes has built at Tennessee. And he talked about a little bit. He said at one point, he said he's more of a 4 that can go and be a 5. Said his wingspan makes him play bigger than what he actually is. He's always been really good at using his body on the defensive end, holding people out of position, getting them off the block. And he says, he kind of contradicted himself here a little bit, I thought. He said, and then he's not the most athletic guy around the rim, but he does an excellent job of protecting the rim because his instincts and timing are impeccable. He's just got a knack for that. Doesn't sky around, rebound, just puts himself in position. Then they said later on down here, they talked about him again, 6'9", 235, 250. And then they say he's got outstanding hands and his footwork is elite. It's just his IQ. He gets it. He understands the game of basketball, knows where it needs to go, knows what it needs to do if he draws a double team. And that sets him apart on it. And he said when he gets off the glass, we allow him to push. He can push it, the break, like a point guard. And he's going to make the right choice. So at one point he talked about he's not the most athletic. And then they're talking about him pushing the break here a little bit. Maybe I kind of misread or misunderstood how they were talking a little bit about this one, but I thought that was kind of funny a little bit. But then I talked about him as well. What I was curious about was his shot. Can he shoot, or is he just a guy who hangs out around the rim? And it said in the state playoffs last year, let me see if I can find, because it's talked about when he went from middle school to high school, he had to get in shape. He was overweight. He worked hard to get himself in shape. And Coach Ware with Brown, he said that he expanded his game this year where he can step out. And we can see him going into next year, not only as a pick and roll guy that goes down there and bury his guy, but we feel he can pick and pop as well. Talked about it later on in the article, said Central Phoenix City elected not to defend Brown in the semifinal game of the state playoffs, and he made them pay by simply stepping behind the three-point line and knocking down a pair of threes. And it said it's something he's worked on. And I guess said most of the year right off of the post, said if he opened up and guys weren't guarding him, he could make that 12 to 14 footer with no problem. So this is a dude, he's going into his senior year. So you got to think there is the possibility he could grow a little bit more along the way. You got to think there's a possibility he could still put on weight, good weight, and especially when he gets in a weight room like Tennessee. So depending on the rankings on here, On 3 has him as a 4-star, 109 overall. 24/7 has him a 3-star. ESPN a 4-star. Rivals a 3-star. The 24/7, their consensus has him at a 4-star. So that's pretty nice commitment for Tennessee out of the gate. Pretty nice start to 2025. And it's going to be a vital year for this roster because I was looking at it. Now, the current roster on UT Sports is not up to date. And so basically, if I'm right on here, Jordan Gainey, Zakai Ziegler, Jemai Mashak will all be gone. Darlene Stone-Dubar, transfer from Hofstra, will be gone. Based on who's currently there, Cam Carr, JP Estrella, and Cade Phillips, barring that no one leaves, that's your only 3 current guys slated to come back in 2025. So Brown will step in. He'll be the first commitment in a And a roster, they're going to need a lot of high school and transfer guys. Of course, Tennessee's still in the running. I've seen, I think, some crystal balls have started to come in for Cade Tyson in North Carolina. Not a surprise. That wasn't, and we'll see how it plays out on that. It's obviously not done. He hasn't admitted yet, but Tyson's visiting North Carolina this weekend. They do want him. And, what's going to come into play? What's the factors with him? Igor Milicic Jr. visiting Baylor this weekend. Tennessee they're in the final three with Nebraska, Baylor, and, of course, Tennessee in that. So Tennessee could land both. They could strike out on both. They could get one and not the other this weekend. They're still going to have work to do, I think, even regardless if they get both guys. I think they've probably done what they can. Where's it going to go from here? It would be huge for Tennessee to get both guys. You got to hope you get those final pitches. What can you do to get them in the fold? I don't know what North Carolina and Baylor's opportunities are. Obviously, that's very strong programs as well. Programs that have won national titles in the not so distant future past. And so I mean, it's big boy basketball in the portal. Haven't heard anything about any other targets. I mean, there still is. Does Tobe Awaka choose to come back? I've seen conflicting reports on that one day maybe he does, one day maybe not. So we'll see how that one plays out as well. And I wouldn't expect either rest of them as well. As Barnes met with the media, I don't get the hint that people in Knoxville are real happy with Jonas Adu. Visited North Carolina, visited Baylor, possibly visiting Kentucky. He's got to do what he's got to do. But Rick Barnes was asked about it, and he said, I was surprised. We asked him if he's all right, and he said, yeah. So not only did Adu quit in the NCAA tournament on Tennessee, he's quit on him again. So, best of luck to him. But it is going to be somewhere else, and that's fine at this point after what I saw down the stretch the last month of the season. Saul got it. I don't know. He won his conference tournament or conference title and seemed like he was good with that. But start to 2025 for Tennessee. We'll see where they go from there. They've had other visitors back in the fall. I'd have to go back and look who it was. I haven't heard much else for 2025. Have not heard of them involved with any other 2024 recruits. We'll see other names that pop up. There's guys hitting the portal every day. And, you could be like Duke going into next year with 2 current guys coming back, and then they've got a few coming from high school. But not sure what's going on. Duke, not sure if there's any guys that may fit what Tennessee wants to do there as well. I think it bears watching down the stretch. But I'll keep you updated on that. Keep you updated with the Lady Vols. If there's anything with that, it's pretty cool to see Kim Caldwell out leading cheers at the Lady Vols softball game last night. And then right after this, I'm going to record the post game for Tennessee-Kentucky as Tennessee evens up that series with Kentucky. And I'll get that released here in just a few minutes. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like this, you share it, you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It's greatly appreciated. This thing is building a little bit at a time, and it's pretty cool to see. But enjoy. If you participate in 420, enjoy and be safe. The rest of you have a good evening. Last but not least, go Vols.
Everyone rejects